just what the hell is going on with the PTR server, and why are there loads of videos of people showing all of the different changes that are hitting the PTR. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Stylosa and this is Unit Lost, and we're going to talk about the current state of the PTR, because what is happening is very, very special. Now, this is a quote from Jeff Goodman. He is the principal designer of Overwatch, and he says this: previously, we've been using the PTR first and foremost to make sure the game is solid and that there aren't any heinous issues that would prevent us from releasing the patch. There was a nice secondary goal of gathering feedback on any changes we're planning and trying to iterate on them quickly, but we didn't always have time to try multiple different iterations of any particular change. This time around, the PTR is going to be around a bit longer than before. We're also going to take this opportunity to try and push more significant hero changes and push the more significant iterations throughout this PTR cycle. Now, what the hell does this mean in English? Well, what it means is, if you look at the PTR in the past, it was basically used... In fact, let's go back to Anna. Anna, when she was put onto the PTR, was pretty much in the state that she launched. There was only very, very minor tweaks. So they increased the number of rounds that she has in a magazine. Instead of, I think she had 6, and I think they increased it to 8, or she might have even had 4. No, I think she had 6 and they increased it to 8. But that's basically all they did. There wasn't any major changes to the way Anna worked. It wasn't like, these are her abilities, oh my god, now we're just going to totally change them, and now we've got this and now we've got that. It was almost as if they internally tested that patch, and that patch was always going to go live, and they just put it on the PTR to make sure, well, honestly, it's not broke. And yeah, it's not broke. A couple of weeks later, they launch. Now, that's what they've been doing with the PTR since the PTR began in terms of Overwatch. This is, of course, the public test region. It's the server they put versions of the game on to make sure they work before they go live. However, this is all changing now, and this is super interesting, because this means we get to see inside the mind's eye of the developers. We get to see what they don't think works and what they think needs changing, because they have been very open on the Overwatch forums, especially the both Jeffs, Scott, and everybody like that. They've been very, very open on the forums, and they do tell you about things. But with this PTR, we can clearly see what they're trying to do. Now, if we look at the round of changes that we've got, D.Va has had substantial changes that have gone in. Soldier has been made more effective. Pharah has been kind of buffed or nerfed. It's a little bit difficult to work that one out. Anna has been, well, quite significantly nerfed. The whole game itself has been slowed down, with them reducing the speed that ultimates charge for every hero by 25%. Now, this is a lot of stuff to cover. This is why I've been covering this in a lot of different videos, because I want to highlight these things. The thing is, though, and you have to remember this, because the way the PTR is run now with the fast iteration system, so an iteration is just a different version. So if they're going to quickly iterate, what that means is they're going to quickly keep changing the game as fast as possible to sort of see what things work and see what things don't work. So none of these changes are set in stone. It also means that they are more prone to crazy changes, just changing things completely just to see what happens. If you look at Torbjorn has a passive scrap generation mechanic now. That's the only thing that's changed with Torbjorn, if you don't include the fact that it takes him 25% longer to charge his ultimate, but that's the same for every hero. What this means for Torb is he can drop 2 armor packs in the spawn before the game even starts. You can give those to like a Tracer or a Genji, or a Genji and a Pharah. You can basically make your team way more tanky from the get-go, and that is massively powerful. Yeah, sure, Torbjorn on attack might not be the best thing because his turret is a stationary object, yada yada yada, but that's an interesting change. Will that make it to live? I don't know. What I don't think will make it to live is what they've done to Widowmaker. So they've changed Widow, and Widow, she has... Well, they've decreased the time, I guess, it takes for her to charge a shot by 20%. So she's 20% faster at charging shots when she's got the Widow's Kiss scoped in, which is a sniper rifle. So it's faster, so boom, boom, boom. This makes her way more powerful. Also, a Widow mine doesn't affect her when it detonates. Now that'll stay. I don't think that'll go. That should always have been there. If you look at Junkrat, he doesn't take damage from his own explosives. I guess, well, I don't know. Zarya takes damage from her own explosives, and Junkrat kind of does from his Riptire. But the Widow thing, it was a defensive mine, which is generally placed kind of close to Widow sometimes. Although you'll notice Widow players do tend to fire the mine into the actual enemy team, so it detonates and gets maximum ult charge for them. But if you're in a sniper position and you've got the Widow mine down and somebody runs in to try and, like, a Tracer tries to get you, sure, it's going to detonate on Tracer, but a lot of the time it would detonate on you, and it's causing yourself damage, and not great. These are a lot of changes that have come in, and we're going to see loads more changes, like loads and loads of changes that are going to be fast. I will cover these changes. I probably won't cover all of them because, like, I won't cover the Farah change because that's kind of minor. What has happened is, well, you could say it's major, I don't know. But what they've done is they've increased the minimum damage the rocket causes when it explodes. So if you're at the maximum range of the explosion, you'll take more damage now. But they've wildly reduced the knockback. So before, when Farah's rocket hit you, it bounced you around a little bit. And that would make it harder for you to shoot Farah. Now, it doesn't bounce you around as much. It still does, but not a lot. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is I just wanted to get this out there and inform you what's going on with the PTR, because we're going to see much fast changes coming in. But I also want you not to sit there and think everything you see is going to hit live, because it probably won't. They have clearly stated that this entire change to the way they operate the PTR, which, let's be honest, is the way they should always have operated the PTR, is there for them to test stuff with a much larger user base, because it's all very well and good them testing internally. Now, the Overwatch team is massive. It's hundreds and hundreds of people, so they can get fairly good internal testing done. But it's not the same as putting it onto the PTR, where you're going to get tens of thousands of players and a lot more data to bring back. Also, you've got to remember the community around this game. It's a passionate community. There are very intelligent people out there that will be able to break down the way the game, that various patches affect the game, maybe even in ways that the devs can't even predict. So it's an invaluable resource. You have to remember, the community around this game is awesome. And when anything changes, Blizzard get feedback. And the great thing is, and I've always said this, the internet is the biggest bullshit detector. It will tell you if something is crap, or it will tell you if something is good. Like, you know, if you take my opinion on it, I think the Torbjorn changes at the moment, they're fairly good. Makes him a little bit more usable. Soldier is probably a little bit too powerful, I don't know. Widow's way too powerful, but I do like the Widow Mine change. Diva, I don't know, Diva probably still needs a little bit more, but she does seem a lot better. She's way more tankier. She moves faster when she fires, and, you know, she's got some decent changes. Anna's ultimate use, or rather the ultimate itself, which doesn't have the speed boost. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I think that is needed. I don't like it because I play Anna, but I think it's needed because it's pretty much impossible to stop like a Reinhardt just running into your team. Like, you can't run away from him. All you have to do is put him to sleep or crowd control him in some kind of way. Put him to sleep if you're another Anna. Try and like put him to sleep. Like, because that's what I do when I'm playing Anna. I wait for the nano boost and I try and put the Reinhardt to sleep because it's an easy target to hit, right? But yeah, I just wanted to get that out there anyway, guys. Just please be aware, any news videos you see on the channel that are PTR focused, which it does say in the comments, in the description of those videos, those changes may actually change or not make it to live. But they're still worth covering because it shows us the way the game is going. It shows us what the devs are trying to do, and it shows us that they acknowledge certain heroes do need changing in certain ways. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. I want you to let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. If you want to play on the PTR, it's only on PC at the moment, so I'm sorry for you guys on consoles, you can't actually get onto this. But if you're on PC, all you have to do is open up the client, the Battle.net client, and then change your region to PTR. So if you're in Europe, it'll be set to Europe. Click the little drop-down menu, click PTR. It'll download the PTR patches, and then you can get in and start playing the PTR, which, as I said, is the test environment. So it's a way for you checking out changes that might hit the game in advance. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. You can also follow me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/UnitLost, which I will be getting back into streaming fairly soon. And I will catch you on the next one, guys. Toodaloo.